Hey guys, Coach Cam here, and it's time for 20.2, and like a lot of people suggested, I put the phone down. So there it is, it's on the J-hook of the rig, so hopefully it stays there the whole time through this video. It means the text is gonna be a little bit harder to see on the board, but I'll talk you through it anyways. Workout 20.2 is a 20-minute AMRAP, so a little bit longer obviously for most people than last week. And in that AMRAP we've got 4 dumbbell thrusters at 35 pounds per hand for women at the RX and 50 pounds per hand for the guys at RX. We've got 6 toes to bar and hanging knee raise and scaled, and then we've got 24 double unders or 24 single skips in scaled. And for scaled, the dumbbell weights for women are 20 pounds and men are 35. And if you're a master 55 plus, then you also have the same weights as the scaled. Also some of our junior athletes have that. So 4 dumbbell thrusters, 6 toes to bar, 24 skips, AMRAP in 20 minutes, and round. So kind of a unique workout, low numbers of reps, but potentially a really high number of rounds as you go through. A couple things before I break down the workout into little pieces. If you have any 20-pound dumbbells or 35-pound dumbbells or 50-pound dumbbells, and you want to lend them to the gym for this week, that'd be great, because at the moment we only have 4 sets of 50s and 4 sets of 35s and 2 sets of 20s. So it's going to limit the amount of people we can cycle through the workout, and especially because it's a long workout, 20 minutes. It's going to we need to cycle as many people as we can through. A side note to that, if you're not registered for the Open and you're not doing our intramural Open, then what you can use as well is a dumbbell that's close to the weight. So we have some 40 and 45 pound dumbbells. We have some 15 and 25 pound dumbbells. So if you're not doing the Open and you want to kind of keep the classes running, then you can choose dumbbells that are close to the RX weights or the scaled weights. Still get a great workout, but it's not as crucial to have those exact weights. Another option is also using kettlebells. So we'll take a look at that in each class. Okay, so this workout is going to be really interesting because for each level of kind of skill and fitness in both the RX and the scaled, you're going to have different strategies and different things are going to be limiters to your performance. So I'm going to talk you kind of through that piece first. So and this applies whether you're doing RX or scaled. You're going to find these kind of 3 categories of people in each group. Bring this a little bit closer. So if you're one of those people who is fortunate to have all of the skills, so you've got, dumbbell thrusters, no problem, and you're strong enough to do them, toes to bar, no problem, double lunges, no problem, same thing with the scaled, you're that first category of people. The second category, you might have some of the skills, so maybe you got toes to bar, or you've got your hanging knee raise, but your skipping is not so great. Or likewise, your thrusters it's going to be pretty hard for you. That's going to be your second category of people. And then the third category of people is going to be a group of people who each one of the skills will be challenging. And so each person that's in those categories should approach the workout in a slightly different way. So if you're in that top category, basically it means you have the strength, you have the double unders, you have all the skills necessary. The main thing that's going to come into play is your base level fitness, like how fast can you go, which is basically what your pace is going to be like. There's not going to be anything that's going to stop you per se, other than going too fast and having your heart rate just elevated too far, or accumulating too much lactic acid, or your grip fatiguing out in that workout. So for those people, it's going to be really important to be able to suss out what your pace should be right from that first kind of 1, 2, 3 rounds. And I don't know what the totals were for the females that did the workout today in Montreal there, but the top score from one of the Australian guys was about 900 reps, so he did 26 rounds of this workout, which is pretty significant. So if you're one of these pretty highly skilled people, you could expect probably to get 18, maybe 20 rounds. Probably somewhere between 17 and 20 rounds is an achievable amount for this workout. So what's going to be important there is measuring your transition time. If you're doing 2 or 3 seconds between each movement, and you've got obviously the 3 movements there, so let's say you're doing 3 seconds per movement, that's 9 seconds each round, which is totally fine. But if you're doing, say, 5 seconds per per transition, or 6 seconds, all of a sudden that's 18 seconds per round. So you're going to lose time on that. That becomes a factor if you're really trying to hit those high numbers of rounds. If though that's part of your strategy to maintain your heart rate below your kind of red line level, then by all means measure your time between the movements to make sure you're recovering. Now, Chris Van Steelant did a couple of rounds of this, or a few sequences of a couple of rounds, and he was saying it could get a little bit grippy, and that's true, especially if you're doing a high number of rounds, you're doing a lot of toes to bar, a lot of double unders, and even holding those dumbbells in that rack position can get difficult. So it's going to come down to knowing your pace and being able to stay below that red line, much like that first workout that we did of the Open this year. And then using your grip probably is another indicator of how fast you should be going. And adjusting your pace mainly by adjusting your transition times. That second group, you have some of the skills, you basically want to have a strategy for attacking some of the skills, especially if the thrusters are really heavy for you or the toes to bar are really difficult for you. You don't want to hit a whole bunch of big sets early on and then be down to like, singles by the second round sort of thing, or third round. So you want to have a strategy to kind of pace yourself on those harder movements right from the very start. And that'll feel too slow at the beginning, but it should be appropriate by the time you get through a large number of rounds. So we might even see people doing, well, even singles of toes to bar from the start. Toes to bar are a pretty tough skill. I think for most people, that's going to be the main roadblock in this workout, is going to be the toes to bar. So if you're not that great at toes to bar, don't worry about banging out sets of 6 for this first 2 rounds. Maybe you do two sets of 2 and a 1. And there's been a lot of historical open workouts where people have done singles the whole time, basically swinging up, kicking the bar, dropping back down, resetting and going again, and having a really good time as a result. So don't be afraid to break your skills up more than you think you need to at the beginning, because likely as you go through the workout, that's going to be the appropriate amount to go. So I would come in to this workout with an idea of how you're going to break those skills up, and knowing that toes to bar will be a main separator for a lot of people. You got to really focus on that, and ask your coach about some tips, especially if you're going to be doing those singles, about the height of bar you should use and what sort of mechanics you should use to get those reps in. Rep splits. Oh, focus. So focus is big in that second group as well. So what we're talking about there is, like, it can be frustrating when you're not getting a movement. So you're not getting your double unders, or you're not getting your toes to bar, or you're not getting whatever else, right? It can be really frustrating. So what you need to do is stay focused as you go through the workout to make sure you're executing your strategy. As we all know, if you get frustrated with double unders, they don't get easier, they get harder. And if toes to bar aren't working well for you, then people try to do them sooner than they should to try and get another one when they should be resting more. So you've got to maintain your focus. Keep in mind this is a long workout, and every single rep you do is going to separate you, especially on that global leaderboard, from the people that are behind you. So you really got to stay mentally strong through the workout, especially if you're not super strong at all those skills. If you're in that third group, where all the skills are going to be challenging, including maybe the fitness aspect, then really this is an opportunity for you to build fitness and to build confidence in these skills. It's an opportunity for you to practice these things that you aren't good at. So if you go into the mindset with a practice kind of focus, if you go into the workout with a practice kind of focus, then whatever comes out of it, it'll actually have moved you forward, as opposed to going in and say, hey, I want to hit a certain number of rounds, but you don't have all those skills. That can be a really frustrating process. Whereas if you say, hey, I'm going to practice these skills, I'm going to go at my pace, I'm just going to kind of step one foot in front of the other, then no matter what happens, you're going to get practice in those skills, and that's going to build your fitness for a later date. Okay? So even though we all want to perform really well at these workouts, if it's a tough workout for us, then come in with the idea that we're just going to practice these movements, and as a result, we're going to get a little bit better for next time. You can also modify the skills in a variety of ways, and so ask your coaches about how to do those singles of toes to bar. If your skipping is not great, like how to modify your skipping a little bit, how to place your hands, things like that, to get those little practice elements that'll improve your performance in that workout, and also you can build off of going forwards. So that's it. It's kind of like, like I said, torrent of discomfort last week. It's probably going to be, depending on where you are, it could be a tidal wave of discomfort, or it could be like just like little ripples across the pond if it's like a slower, kind of more methodical pace. But either way, you've got to come in and just focus on the actual process of doing the workout and staying on what your goals are. So for you guys in the top group, guys and girls in the top group, it's all about being like mechanical and consistent, and just sticking to your plan, and just not being afraid to dial it up, dial it down by small amounts to see, especially in the middle of the workout, if you can go just a little bit faster. That's always a good thing to do, but it's all about kind of mechanically moving through that workout. For those of you in group 2, you really just got to focus in on the strategy of breaking up your reps and try to stick to that with, again, some flexibility. If things are going really well in the second half of the workout, then tweak them a little bit. If they're not going as well, don't be afraid to drop yourself back a little bit. And in that third group, just really coming in and try to get as much technique and as much skill as you can out of this workout, and it'll be a good workout regardless. One last piece about signing up for this, especially in the Friday night classes, we're going to have a little bit of a sign-up board. So over here, what this has is all of the 50-pound and 30-pound dumbbells we have, and 20-pound dumbbells. And what we'll do on Friday night is what we did a lot of times on Friday night throughout the whole history of the Open, is it may be really tough to actually have people work through in class, like 1-hour class sections. So what we'll have is a board like this, heat 1 X at say 4:15 or something like that, heat 2 at 4:40, and we'll just kind of roll people through. We might need to do that, past 7 o'clock on Friday night, just because it'll be a busy night and we have a limited number of dumbbells. So come in, especially in the evening, come in ready to sign up for a heat that may be a little bit later in the class, and we'll still flip-flop judging and everything, but it'll just look a little bit different. So look for that board. That board will be by the washrooms where the intramural teams are. So that's about it. I can't think of anything else right now. I'm sure other things will come up. Good luck, have fun. Week 2, support your team. Okay.